this time concerning an item not listed on the agenda. The public can only speak during public participation or defer to a specific agenda item. The presentation is limited to 3 minutes. Persons must sign up and complete a request to speak form before the meeting begins and state their topic. At this time, Tracy Hooks, you are able to speak. Ms. Holland will be the timekeeper and she'll let you know when you have a minute left. And with that, if you would start with just listing your address and you can proceed.
It's 1817 Highland Springs Drive. In September, I came to address this board and express concerns over a Common Core textbook I found in my son's backpack. I was assured at that time that the Common Core curriculum was not being used in our district, and that if I saw that on the book, it was either a just supplemental material being used in addition to the core text, or that it was just put on the book because of the marketing used because so many states in our area, so many states have accepted the Common Core curriculum. I come before the board today, and most importantly before all the parents in attendance today, to bring to light some new information that has come to my attention. In looking over the district website as a follow-up measure after my discussion with Mr. Thornhill, I discovered operational goals for the district which state alliances with the Partnership for 21st Century Skills, as well as the expansion of the Texas Initiative Generation Texas. I also had become aware of this district's participation in the Learning Forward Conference that took place last week at the Gaylord Texan. I went to the Partnership for 21st Century Skills website and clicked on the resources for educators. I then clicked on Implementation tab, and what came up was a Common Core toolkit. Generation Texas is a grassroots initiative seeking to increase the awareness and support for Texas Common Core standards and to create a college-going culture. A very large portion of the Learning Forward conference was also about Common Core standards as well. I come before the board again to ask, how can you continue to reassure me that this district is not implementing Common Core standards when a simple visit to the websites of the aforementioned groups all reveals strong ties up to and including guidelines for the implementation of Common Core? I see also on the agenda that there is going to be a presentation for House Bill 5, and to be specific, it's the impact of House Bill 5 on graduation. The memo states that the impact of House Bill 5 supports the district's Strategic Goal 1. Strategic Goal 1, according to the district website, states develop curriculum that addresses learning requirements of students as identified by the Partnership for 21st Century Skills. According to congressional record, House Bill 5 was passed 4 days prior to a bill that was passed to prohibit the use of Common Core. I took the time to look at both the current statute as well as both of the House bills for clarification. And to put it basically, House Bill 5, along with the verbiage of the original statute, along with what House Bill 5 changed, House Bill 462 still adds that it is not legal for Common Core to be used in the state of Texas. And I'm out of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Andrew Bennett. If you would, please state your address and then you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. 15652 Wheel Horse Trail. My name is Andrew Bennett, and I have recently founded a group called Northwest ISD Parents and Teachers Against Common Core. My son attends Tidwell Middle School. He's in 6th grade, and this is his vocabulary workshop book. Clearly at the top it says Common Core Enriched Edition. And as I look here on page 77 in Unit 6, it says, the correct answer for this, by the way, is there is quite a contrast between the dynamic administration that now runs that country, and the do-nothing regime that preceded it. These books are full of political references. This agenda is not, I don't understand why we're doing this in Texas. It's coming in through the back door. And I'm here to introduce myself. We've aligned ourselves with Texans Against Common Core, Women on the Wall. We have a huge group of people now, and we are going to fight this as long as it takes. So I just wanted to introduce myself to you, and hopefully we can come to some kind of a resolution where we can, do this for our kids. I've never done this before, so you have to forgive me for stumbling a little bit. I apologize. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Ms. Hooks, I would like to introduce Dr. Thornell. Dr.
I'm
Thornell,
sorry, I
if you
missed
would
the
just
message.
simply let them see you. He will be in contact with you.
Thank
He
you.
can speak specifically to what you've shared tonight. For clarification purposes, I will tell you that Northwest ISD writes its own curriculum, which are based on the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. And the instructional materials that we use are those that are approved and on the review list by the State Board of Education. Thank you.
Moving on to item 7, consent agenda.
Thank you, Senior Airman, you're a hero. Thank you. Andrew Bennett, 15652 Wheelhorse Trail. Hello. Last time I was here, I showed you the book that my son was using in Tidwell Middle School, which said Common Core Enriched Edition at the top. And after I finished speaking, Dr. Roos said that Northwest ISD writes their own curriculum and everything they use is approved by the State Board of Education. I also received word from Dr. Thornell that the materials would be removed from the school. Today I stand here angry that again my son is indoctrinated by a Texas public school who thinks that Islam is the only religion that should be taught in depth in social studies. When I asked my son about what he had learned about Christianity, he said that they were mentioned along with Buddhists, Hindus, and Jews, but the focus has been on Islam. Last week's lesson, the 5 pillars of Islam. Do you know there are actually 6 pillars? It's very easy to Google, and I suspect some of you will after knowing this. Why would you only teach part of the facts? And why would you omit the most important pillar? Do you know that Sharia law allows men to marry their wives when they turn 4 and are allowed to consummate the marriage at 9? I am disgusted that any normal American would allow this to be taught to our kids as if something we should just all accept, the law of Islam. I've seen textbooks try to give credit to Islam for algebra, another lie, and then a quick search of Francois Viette would clear that up quickly. I moved that college and career ready is as much Common Core as C-Scope is, and shame on you for not knowing all the facts. The law says, and I quote, Section B of HB 462, B1, in this section, Common Core Standards means the national curriculum standards developed by the Common Core State Standards Initiative. B2, the State Board of Education may not adopt Common Core State Standards to comply with the duty imposed under this chapter. B3, a school district may not use Common Core State Standards to comply with the requirement to provide instruction in the essential knowledge and skills at appropriate grade levels under subsection C. B4, notwithstanding any other provision of this code, a school district or open enrollment charter school may not be required to offer any aspect of Common Core State Standards curriculum. There have been numerous conversations surrounding this topic. The common answer you keep providing is that everything is approved by the State Board of Education. We have come to tell you the truth and you have ignored us. Remember, I was just following orders wasn't a viable defense at the Nuremberg trials either. Northwest ISD Parents and Teachers Against Common Core as of right now has 101 members. These are parents, teachers, attorneys, journalists, and even a couple legislators are paying attention. The group grows every day and will continue to grow as we get the word out. Texans Against Common Core has over 750 members and is growing about 50 to 100 members a week. We are also aligned with Women on the Wall, which reaches thousands. Going forward, you know now the truth. If you continue to ignore us, we will replace you with someone who will listen. We are not going away. Thank you.
And as I have mentioned before, the curriculum of Northwest ISD is aligned to the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills.
Brings us to our next participant, Ms. Donna Harvey.